On the next day, then we've got Spain against Austria, and Spain haven't looked great in this tournament so far, all things considered. Obviously drew 0-0 against Cape Verde, and I think if they didn't have Lamine Yamal, I would go as far as to say I would have no confidence in them winning this game. Like, that's how lost in terms of ideas they look without him. And of course, because Nico Williams hasn't been playing, he's now injured again, so he's definitely out of this game. Not sure if he's going to make the rest of the tournament, which is a blow for them. But I'm simply they have great players, they have great midfielders, and I'm putting my trust in Lamine Yamal to bring them through a game like this. I just think he's gonna show up. He's a big game player. He's a magician, and this is gonna be. I'm expecting this to be his statement performance of the World Cup so far, to join all the Messis and the Mbappes and Olises that have come before him so far. So, yeah, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think Spain, yeah, they haven't been as good as maybe we expected them to be so far this tournament. But I don't think Austria have enough to trouble them, and I think they'll get past them fairly easily, especially the fact with Yamal being fit. Yeah, Spain will win that game.
Okay. And we also have Portugal against Croatia. Very interesting one. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one, actually. What do you see happening here?
Um, this one is tricky, honestly, because I'm not too sure about it. But Croatia, they're not as good as they were uh previously, when they got to the final, when they were, just always the dark horses of the tournament. They're definitely not at that level. Aging players, Luka Modric, 40 years old, still their captain, still playing, and yeah, and they haven't really got much in the attack, but they are well drilled. The limited chances that they do get, they make sure that they make something of those chances. You can tell that in the training they are definitely well drilled. Um, but Portugal, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like against Croatia, you need to beat. Like, if you can beat them physically, that's half the job done. That's half the job done, especially that midfield. But Portugal, they don't really have that physicality. They got João Neves. Other than that, they don't really have the physicality. And I don't think technically they're necessarily gonna beat the Croatian midfield. I don't think they're gonna dominate that game, So like, it's gonna be more difficult, a harder game for Portugal than people are anticipating. I think just because of the areas. Just because I don't think Croatia is their best match. I don't think that's their best match in terms of where Portugal are strong and where Croatia are strong. So I have that one going to extra time. But I do think, you know, guys like Mendes. I highly rate Nuno Mendes. For me, he's one of the best players in the world, and I think he will probably be the difference in that game. He'll create some chances, and that'll be the difference. But it will definitely be a close game, and I can see Croatia sneaking a victory, because I don't rate guys like Vitinha and Bruno the same way the majority of the world rates them. Vitinha, a very limited player in my opinion. He's not going to offer much defensively, which is why I think Modric is going to be able to do his normal thing. Even though he's 40 years old, he's not able to run like that. Portugal, they don't really have the physicality in midfield to really combat that for them. And they have other good midfielders. They have Kovacic there. He's still good on the ball. So it's going to be a closer battle in midfield than people are anticipating. So, and obviously Bruno Ronaldo, that never works really. So it'll be an interesting game, man. I'm gonna learn a lot from that game. So I don't even know where to go, if I should go Portugal. I'm gonna say Portugal just because of Nuno Mendes, but it could go either
Fair
way.
enough. Yeah, I'm feeling exactly the same as you. I'm in the same headspace. this Bruno and Ronaldo thing, I've been going on about it for a long time now. Like since 2019, I'd say. Um, it's worse now because of course Ronaldo's an older player. But when you've got a front two that you can't pass the ball to under any sort of pressure, it makes it hard for any team. And Portugal, I have been consistent. I see them losing to the first good team they face, but I don't think that team is Croatia because from what I've seen, they're not great. Obviously, we just saw them beat Ghana, but that wasn't Ghana Ghana missing a couple of players, and I'm not saying Ghana's a top team in this tournament anyway, but I think Ghana, if they needed to win that game, could have won that game as well. So it's to me, I don't see much in the attack, Croatia. When I look at Croatia, the midfield is not moving how it used to in terms of controlling, but I do think they can control parts of this game for sure. Like, I agree. I have the same doubts about the Portugal midfield and just being able to control games. I don't think they've got the balance right. Martinez hasn't got the balance right, but obviously he's got other things on his mind. He's got to think about his future. Probably be the next Al-Nassr manager. So I think
Really?
yeah. So he's I think that deal's close to being wrapped up. So he's got priorities he's got to consider. He can't really be thinking about
Winning the World
he-
Cup.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Man. Let's be real. Let's be real. So I think I see. I'm gonna pick Portugal, but it's not to do with Portugal. It's to do with Croatia not being, for me, one of the weaker teams to make it through.
But Croatia, like, there's one thing we need to shed some light on. Like, sure, they haven't been, as they haven't controlled games in the group stage, or they haven't, created that many chances. But one thing I will say that they do seem very efficient in their, when they do create their chances. Like, they create very good chances when they do create chances. So I think that's, that it can't be taken lightly, and. I think they'll definitely create some dangerous chances against Portugal.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's definitely not going to be an easy game, just because I don't think Portugal can make it an easy game against anyone that's made it to the last 32. I'm picking Portugal just about to squeeze through to make it to the last 16. And also on that day, late one is Switzerland against Algeria, which for me is quite an even game. Tough one to call. My shout of Switzerland being one of the teams to flop was looking great after the first game. In fact, if you had asked me 75 minutes into the second game, I'm thinking, I went spot on. Switzerland, worst, the biggest flops in this tournament. But the thing that happened on the 75th minute around then was they brought in Johan Manzambi, and everything's changed. The whole tournament has changed, and they're a completely different team. And it makes perfect sense when you see how good he is. He's the young player that's impressed me the most out of the players I didn't know heading into this tournament. I hadn't watched him play before. I think he's a huge talent. He can win the ball. He can pass, but he's got that burst, that physical burst. Like, he's so quick and powerful, and he's a good finisher as well. So I see him like as a box-to-box player, but he's gonna play off Embolo, which is a perfect role for him. Having someone with that hold-up play, and it allows the weaknesses of a guy like Xhaka to be hidden as well. Because Xhaka, even at his best, wasn't the best physically, defensively. He's someone who's only good if you limit his role to just playing passes. He's not a well-rounded centre mid at all. And Manzambi, he's such an all-rounder that he covers in terms of defensively. He's got that engine, that pace, and then he's also getting beyond Embolo, so they're now a threat, because they weren't looking like a threat at all before. And I think his introduction is enough to make me pick them just about against Algeria, who I haven't been really impressed with. You know, they've got highly technical players though. You know, guys like Mamara is still there. Awa did a really good assist yesterday. Um
Maza,
Maza,
yeah.
yeah, Maza's played well. Nuri, you know, they got like good technical players, but
Who does Awa play
yeah.
for?
Awa, it's in Saudi, I think. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
he
okay.
played in Saudi. Yeah. So yeah. What were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game. You know. Don't really know. I can't really pick anyone for that one, but you know, I hope Algeria go through just for Africa. You know.
Yeah,
That's all I've
yeah.
got to say on that one.
Fair enough.